or around the house that just says, is it I or we?
Can you expand on
Meaning, at the moment that you look at this, at the note that says, is it I or we, it will cause you to question whether or not at that moment you're engaged in whatever you're doing by yourself or in communion with your guide or the Holy Spirit. Is what is happening a joint activity, whether you're vacuuming or whether you're driving the car? Or are you apparently doing it all by yourself at the moment? That will tell you right away and will serve to give you a reminder throughout the day to remember to do it with your guide.
Is it just remembering to ask?
Is what just remembering to ask?
Knowing that you're actually listening. Is there an experience of it, or is it just the fact that you say, okay, I'm willing to do it together?
Well, let's put it this way. If you're listening and not hearing, the listening isn't fulfilled. If you are wanting not to be alone, and you are reaching out to the Holy Spirit or to your guide or to me, and you are not feeling the presence of anything but your everyday experience of yourself, then listening isn't fulfilled yet. When it's fulfilled, you know you're not alone, whether you're vacuuming or not. And you pay attention. You find that your movement is led. How you move back and forth. It could almost become a dance to you because you're not doing it alone. You are letting your guide be involved so that what you are doing is altered from the way you do it all by yourself. And there is a feeling of camaraderie, a conscious experience of someone being present with you. So make a little signs. Is it I or we? Just to remind you to join if you're not joined. Listening, be careful that you don't listen. You're doing the vacuuming and you're listening, so that your attention is not just on what you're doing but open to something else, and then just continue to do your vacuuming. You want to listen and hear. Listen and feel the response, and then stay in touch so that the connection is ongoing.
Because I'm sure I've felt that before, but I think I want to get a little bit more grounded in knowing the difference, knowing for sure when it is that I'm experiencing and when I'm wondering.
Well, when you feel loved, when you are having an experience of being loved, you know you're not alone. Mm. If you're not experiencing that right now, then joining is not occurring right now. You know the difference. Just be really honest with yourself.
Okay. So if I'm not hearing, just persist, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I just want to repeat this. The highly specific nature of invention is not worthy of the abstract creativity of God's creations. So, be willing to abandon any commitment that you all have to being inventive, to being creative problem solving. That's a nice buzzword, isn't it? Creative problem solving. And are you any good at it? You're worse off if you think that you are than those who don't think that they are. because that means you think you've got some skill at being a creative, inventive problem solver. You have people attempting to creatively, ingeniously, and inventively find ways to manipulate the matter that your body is made up of, into health, and these are called drug companies. When the fact is that what will correct error from the bottom up is the recognition that you don't have a material body. That form, the form that you recognize as your body, is pure spirit. The substance of pure spirit is love, divine love, the Father's love. It's therefore not bound by laws of physics, inertia, that which calls for time in order for change to occur, and so on. And in abandoning the form that you recognize as your body to spirit, it becomes subject to instantaneous reconfiguration that doesn't require any conscious direction from you to become what it ought to be. The minute you release it from the agreed upon structures of the perception of substance as matter, it will spontaneously reconfigure to identify what it is. Or you will find yourself no longer biased, experiencing a biased perception of what had been spirit all along. And that is not inventive or ingenious or creative as a personal accomplishment. Do you see what I'm saying? Healing is not limited to the laws of physics. Arriving on the moon is not limited by the laws of physics. You mentioned matrix, and in the first matrix, one of the statements made to Neo was, "You think you're breathing air?" The sense of air being breathed was a concept that was being provided, and breathing air wasn't what was going on at all. Likewise, a material universe isn't what's going on, and it's not what you're in the middle of. It's all spirit, which is incapable of being sluggish, which is incapable of being limited in its movement, because the energy is constantly available to identify the ongoing movement of creation that is accomplished in the mind of God as the movement of ideas. That's what's going on. Okay, continue.
The fundamental question you continually ask yourself cannot properly be directed to yourself at all. You keep asking what it is you are. This implies that the answer is not only one you know, but is also one that it is up to you to supply. Yet, you cannot perceive yourself correctly. You have no image to be perceived. The word image is always perception related and not a part of knowledge. Images are symbolic and stand for something else. The idea of changing your image recognizes the power of perception, but also implies that there is nothing stable to know.
Yes. Have any of you ever run up against the boundary of your mind? Have you?
Yes.
Geographically, where was it?
Well, it was about 4 blocks. No, really. It was when I had a vision that totally didn't fit any of my mutually agreed upon concepts, and just, the expression goes, it blew my mind. I had no way to explain it physically or in any other way that was not, for lack of a better word, supernatural.
Well, let me ask you it this way. Is your mind rectangular? Is it cubic? Is it an oval?
Feels like a little dark box. I'm being evasive, but I understand what you mean.
Indeed. You are mind. And mind has no limits. Mind is, and always has been, boundaryless. That means there can only be one mind, doesn't it? You're not a what, you're a presence. The presence of mind. The presence of that in which all conscious experience is occurring infinitely. When you make a definition, you create an artificial boundary, an imagined boundary. And then when you confine your attention within that boundary, you seem to lose the infinite view, the infinite connection, you might say. But you only accomplish this by ignoring the rest, not by actually creating a boundary. The function of mind is to know. Let's continue.
Knowing is not open to interpretation. You may try to interpret meaning, but this is always open to error because it refers to the perception of meaning.
In other words, it refers to a definition of the word meaning rather than referring to that of which you're trying to find the meaning. Continue.
Such incongruities are the result of attempts to regard yourself as separated and unseparated at the same time. It is impossible to make so fundamental a confusion without increasing your overall confusion still further. Your mind may have become very ingenious, but as always happens, when method and content are separated, it is utilized in a futile attempt to escape from an inescapable impasse.
Yes. Every attempt you make to improve the human condition without arriving, as though the human condition were real, will always cause you to remain enmeshed in the human condition. Is that clear? You're trying to do the impossible.
Why can't she step in front of a car? Why can't she step in front of a car?
Mark, why can't she step in front of a car? You tell me.
You met her at the place where meaningful and not meaningful come together, and by her listening to you, you helped her out of her misperception, and you're in charge of cars and time and all of that. And I put all that together from reading this book, and it's quite confusing.
I am not in charge of cars.
This is where instability reigns. It always is based on need.
It's always based on need.
Need. Needs met.
I instead of we. I see that.
The need to know needs met. Once we keep grounded in that, we won't be surmising and supposing.
I cannot be in charge of myself, much less the cars.
What about time and space? I mean, it says you're in charge of time and space and in charge of everything that has no meaning. Well, I have this documented too.
Would you accept that? Would you accept such a job? To be in charge of all that is meaningless.
And to include time and space in that category.
The hours might be good.
I cannot override free will. I am not in charge of this dastardly miscreation that each of you has miscreated and made commitment to. Because what you have created doesn't exist. But I can meet you, my brother, as my brother, and be the presence of love with you that causes you to remember what it feels like not to be alone, and thus distract you from what is meaningless that has been binding you. And you know, because love is love, as you and I walk you out of your misperceptions, I counsel you wisely not to stop breathing, even though you think you're breathing air. Because until you know that there is no air to breathe and you don't need it, and what is happening, called breathing air, is something other than what you believe it is, my telling you to stop breathing would create for you a very frightening experience. Because there would have been no provision of understanding of what's really going on and called, quote, breathing air, unquote. And so I will tell you how not to frighten yourself any more than you are already frightened because a long time ago you turned away from the altar. And I will bring you back to the altar. I will refresh you with the truth about you in a way that reduces your fear and allows you to find a courage you didn't know you had, a courage that doesn't require force to move through, to move with. Forget about being in charge of the cars and being in charge of all that is meaningless. I accepted the job, but that's not where my work is. My work is with you, with each of you, as brothers and sisters, as divine beings, as divine ones, as the presence of God. And as long as you believe with all your might that being in front of an oncoming car will kill you, I will advise you not to step in front of one. And when you finally understand why you can't be harmed, then you can walk wherever you want. In front of cars, horses, rabid dogs, off the edge of buildings, into a propeller, whatever.
Not as an I. I mean, that's the doorway is the I and the we.
That is
And so
for sure.
We all the way home.
Indeed.
I got that.
Indeed. Continue.
Ingenuity is totally divorced from knowledge because knowledge does not require ingenuity. Ingenious thinking is not the truth that shall set you free, but you are free of the need to engage in it when you are willing to let it go.
You should all feel greatly relieved because there's no effort called for. There's no effort called for in coming back into your right mind. Ingenious thinking is effortful. But it's not the truth that shall set you free. And I'm going to say you will be free of the need to engage in it when you're willing to let it go. That's all. You just have to be willing to let it go. Let go of the apparently satisfying exercise of ingenious creativity where you, not we, where you can make a difference in the world. Any difference you make in the world as a result of ingenuity will will be nothing more than a variation on an age-old theme that has for ages constituted the re-establishment of and the continuation of the human condition. When you're willing to abandon the need to be ingenious, and you abandon the I attitude, adopting the we attitude as an actual experience of joining, there will be wonders that you can't imagine. But they won't be the result of ingenuity. They will be the result of your no longer blocking the movement of God that embodies the meaning of the words, "Behold, I make all things new." And you have a week to let that sink in. I am enjoying myself.
You're enjoying yourself too.
I am enjoying the experience of you hearing me. I'm enjoying the experience of your hearing me and your knowing that you're hearing me. Many times you hear me, but you don't know that we connected. I am enjoying the conscious camaraderie, the conscious connection with you. Not with you and you and you and you and you. I am enjoying, the you isn't the most important part of what I'm saying. I am enjoying the conscious connection. Because you are consciousness. You are mind. I am enjoying the connection that is the real connection, that has nothing to do with personal little I's. Capital letter I, egos, little you. You see what I'm saying? I am a universal smile at this moment. And I look forward to every single moment with you between now and next weekend, as well as next Sunday. We will call it a day.